Bet you didn't see that coming. Yeah, that's right. I know karate. I had a yellow belt when I was like 9. Intimidated? Intimidated? You should be. You should be scared. I'm just kidding. We're reading Reddit. Am I the asshole? You guys have been here before, so I don't think I need to explain it. You want me to explain it? I'll explain it. I like explaining things. I'll mansplain it. Nope. Our first story is brought to you from Lotto Issues. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife we either share our lotto winnings or we separate and I get half anyway? Finances are always a tough one in relationships. Let's see the story. My wife and I are extremely fortunate to have won a decent amount of money from Lotto recently. It wasn't the top prize, but it was enough to pay off our sizable mortgage and still have some left over for vacations. The mortgage was by far our biggest weekly cost, and with that gone, we could both comfortably cut our hours back at work to only school hours and spend some more time with our kids. This was always a daydream we spoke about when we bought lotto tickets. I assumed this is what we would both do. When we got the money and paid off our house, everything almost immediately turned bad. My wife started talking about how amazing it's going to be finally not having to work anymore. I was blindsided by this. Even with the mortgage gone, we would still have to work at least school hours to keep our current standard of living. And on my salary alone, things would be tight. I asked if she was serious, and she said, of course. It was her ticket, and she gets to decide. This is BS, because we both bought lottery tickets before, and when we both moved in together, we only bought one, because 2 seemed like a waste of money. A lot of people might argue 1 is a waste of money. Unless you win. Can I have it? Can I have the ticket? Please, I really need it. I tried to reason with her. Say she could use some of the extra to take some unpaid leave here and there, but she needs to keep her job. When I said if I'm only working school hours, she absolutely flipped and started accusing me of being a gold digger and ruining this for her. How she deserved it after working so much of her life, etc. I asked her for a pause because I was honestly afraid. She's never been like this before. It's a bit scary. The next few days, we tried to have this conversation again, but she didn't budge an inch. And when she said, well, it doesn't matter now because I'm putting in my notice at work. Oh, God, she already put her notice in? Okay, I thought maybe she was like joking at first, but no, she's going through this already. I lost it and told her I'm not going through with this. If she's not going to share the winnings, which is under both of our names, I'll divorce her and get half through the house and therefore half the winnings anyway. This started another screaming match where she continued to call my ass a gold digger. I'm absolutely exhausted and lost. I feel like my wife has been replaced by an imposter. I would have preferred not winning if I knew this was going to happen. Finances are a really tough one. I'm pretty sure if you look up some statistic words somewhere that it's one of the leading causes of divorces. And I'm sure when either one of the person inherits a significant amount of money, it might not even need to be that significant. 10 grand, 5 grand might even be significant enough that it can cause a divide between people. It sucks that this is actually how it's going with you guys. She really jumped the gun on it in my opinion. I see where you're coming from. If you do the math and the math's not working, then you have to keep your jobs. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I don't know if maybe it wasn't seriously discussed before winning lottery winnings, but who the hell wins that much in lottery winnings realistically? The odds are so low. This isn't a normal conversation for most people, at least not with this type of inheritance or money or whatever, but I really don't know how finances, once they've been intertangled, how you can untangle them unless it's just like a divorce and splitting the assets down the middle. I don't know. This is crazy though. I hope that never happens to me. Honestly, I'd rather live where I'm at now than coming into a lot of money and it destroy relationships, to be honest. I would love a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but I don't want it to ruin relationships if that's the price I have to pay. We're going to the comments. I kind of spewed on this one. First one's brought to you by Jolly Engineer 6688. The good news is that you can afford the divorce. The bad news is that the attorneys will be going on your vacation. Yeah, they're going to make a nice payday from that too, unfortunately. I mean, it's their job, so they should be paid well, but It's a divorce. It's ugly. Can confirm my divorce was amicable, and it cost me $10K. I'm pretty sure amicable means like it was non-hostile. Like they settled, and it still cost him 10 grand. It's not a cheap process. I'd be a little bit worried that this is gonna. Yep. That's my guess. I think that's where you guys are heading, but sorry, sometimes money brings out the worst in people, man. It can bring out the best or the worst. Unfortunately, I think it's generally the worst, but I'm a pessimist. We're going to the next story. I've had enough of this one. The next one is brought to you by Cly Guy, 1996. My friend picked an expensive place for dinner, so I canceled. Okay. I, 28, and my wife, 26, agreed to meet a friend, 30, for dinner tomorrow night. He lives about 3 hours away and is here for work. He's staying in another city about 25 minutes away, which is fine, as I am excited to see him. I was in his wedding, he was in my wedding. We are fraternity brothers, wives are friends, etc. Hell yeah, bro. After I sent restaurant suggestions and he was deciding where to go, he comes back with, I made reservations for here at 7. Looking at the menu, no entree less than $40, not including drinks, apps, and tip. This place is relatively fancy, with what I assume is a business casual dress code. No shorts, closed-toed shoes. I told him that a 200 plus dinner on a Wednesday night is not what I had in mind. Given that I am paying for both my wife and I knew he would be expensing his meal, being that he is here for work, so price doesn't matter to him. It's not that I can't afford it, but the principle of we're driving out to see you because you invited us out and then took it upon yourself to pick an expensive place with full knowledge your meal will be expensed. Yeah, I mean, he might not have had any foresight there. Maybe just talk to him about it? We'll continue. He responded with something like, a Big Mac is $13.49, and I asked if he could pick the spot I suggested or somewhere else more casual, sports bar, Mexican, etc. And he tried guilt-tripping me into attending, and I told him maybe another time. Now he's angry with me. Am I the asshole? There's been an update. Compromised, and he's buying the app and first round of drinks. Surprised barely anyone suggested this. The comments that are most appreciated were along the lines of, he's an old friend and it's not just a regular Wednesday night dinner. And splurging a bit isn't the end of the world. Y'all are right in the end. I haven't read the comments or anything yet. I don't disagree inherently with what you said there, and I don't know what the comments have said yet. Let me reiterate that before you jump me, okay? There isn't a problem with splurging. If you're able to and you can financially do it, do it. But if you're also really tight on money and you can't afford to do it, they shouldn't be obligated to ever pay for your food. But I would hope if they're a good friend, they would be willing to compromise with going to somewhere that's more affordable for all parties. You know what I mean? I would be happy to see my friend I haven't seen in 10 years or whatever it is, 3 years or whatever. Or sorry, that was 3 hours away. Regardless, I would be happy to see my friend more than I give a shit about where we're eating. If my friend's like, I want to go to Chipotle, and I'm like, no, I want to go to Cracker Barrel. I'm not going to fucking cry about it. I'll just be like, all right, man, we'll go to what you want. Or if I can't afford it, I would communicate that to him. Just be like, hey, man, I'm really excited to see you. I really can't afford, unfortunately, to go out right now. We're tight on money. You want to come over for dinner? Cook an at-home meal. Problem solved. Comment time. J-A-Y. Not the asshole. You explained exactly why you were hesitant and offered alternatives. You did exactly what you should have done. Ask him how he got such an amazing job if he doesn't know that $13.49 is still much less than $40. Side tangent. Fast food, it might be convenient, but it is not cheap food anymore. So if you guys want to eat something good, honestly, you're better off cooking at home. McDonald's is really expensive, but goddamn those french fries. All hash browns. Ooh. Big Mac meal available for $5.39 to $7 in the app most days? What McDonald's are you going to? I never had a $5 Big Mac. Not in the last 10 years. Okay, maybe 10 years ago. None of these comments have anything to do with the actual story. I paid nearly $40 for a Five Guys burgers, chips, and a milkshake. Bloody ridiculous. You do know Five Guys milkshakes are like $9 by themselves, right? What are you milking? A golden udder? Like, what the fuck? That's expensive, man. They're pretty good. I will give it to them. They're good, but I don't buy them because no. $9, not worth it. The burgers themselves are too expensive, in my opinion. Is it good? Yes. Cost expensive? Yes. Their milkshakes do bring all the boys to the yard, though. See, that's what I'm saying. They're good. No, wait. I feel like I'm being swayed. Save your money. Don't buy shakes. We're going to the next one. Oh, shit, I didn't give him a label. I don't think you're an asshole. Whoop-ha! This one is brought to you by More Particular 9728. My wife wants divorce because I told her I'll water her regularly for photosynthesis. Is this along the lines of that thing a few months ago where there was that like trend of, would you still love me if I was a worm? Would you not want watered if you were a plant? That's some form of love, right? You need the photosynthesis. This is a throwaway because half embarrassed to post this in the first place. My wife, 26, and I, 28, have been married for 6 months now. We don't joke around usually since I have early on figured she's not too into jokes and I'm not too much of a jokester. Yesterday, I was randomly sitting on my couch watching when she just came up to me asking if I still love her if she were a plant. I told you, it's like the earthworm one. Would you guys prefer to be an earthworm or a plant? So I'm very much aware of trap questions. Oh, is that what they're considered, a trap question? Well, that's news to me. So I'm very much aware of trap questions that exist, and my first thought was to make sure to give her a good answer. I told her I will still love her then and water her regularly for photosynthesis. I wasn't joking here, although I know it might sound silly. I said it very seriously too. Usually when I joke, I laugh right after because I can't handle my own embarrassing jokes either, but this wasn't one of those cases. Did you do it like weird? She was probably like, hey honey, would you still love me if I were a plant? I'd water you so good! So fucking good. Like maybe it was like that and you just really threw her off. I don't know y'all's relationship. My wife just looked at me dead in the face like I said something really wrong. She said that was insensitive of me to joke about and could have phrased it better. What? I got a little defensive because I found it absurd that she kept saying it was a bit too much to joke about her question when I really wasn't trying to do that. Then suddenly, she said she wanted a divorce, which made me laugh. I agree it wasn't the right timing to laugh, but it came out accidentally, and she said, see, you're not taking me seriously at all. We had a small argument, which then escalated with her bringing out my past, nonchalant way of talking that she said was very immature and not considerate of the other person. Man, that whole paragraph kind of throws me for a little bit of a loop there. I think the whole situation itself just like went from 0 to 100 really fast for no reason. I don't really get it, but whatever. She got really upset and brought up the divorce again. I thought she might just be sulky and we'll let this go soon enough. But she's dead serious about this thing. She called her mom today saying she is considering a literal divorce. Her mom hasn't said anything or called me yet, and wife isn't talking to me at all. I'm genuinely lost because I didn't mean what I said with any bad intentions. Just when I felt like I settled down a bit, this happens, and I'm not sure what I should be doing. Is there anything I could tell to make her feel better? I really don't want a divorce due to something like this, but I'm willing to correct my way of answering or talking. I don't know. I almost feel like you dodged a red flag, because if you have to dance around your words on a conversation that's as simple as that, if you have to dance around your words and she's seriously considering divorce because you said you were going to water her, I think you dodged a red flag, to be honest. I don't think you're an asshole. Whoopah! I'm giving you that. People can disagree. I don't think you're the asshole, though. I think she handled the situation poorly, to be honest. And I don't know truly what was said in between you guys. I only see what's on the page. You guys are reading what I'm reading, too. To the comments. Boggy dope. Being single is underrated. I'm sure it has its pluses. Probably its cons too, you know. MTV Koala. I married someone I considered my best friend, and whenever I read about these situations, I honestly think same. It takes so much less energy to just be single than to be married to someone who exhausts you with stuff like this, and that's coming from a happily married person. It sounds a bit toxic there. I don't think you're the asshole, but hopefully you guys can seek some therapy or something and save the relationship. I just don't know if it's worth saving. Our next one is brought to you by Generous Jasmine. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance's daughter I'm not her mom after she called me a gold digger with a uterus. There's a lot of money tied into these am I the asshole ones today. Yep, that's what she said. Buckle up. I, 32, have been with my fiance, 38, for almost 4 years. He has a daughter, 15, from his first marriage. Her mom is very much in the picture, but she's more of a wine and vibes parent than someone who actually parents. I've been the one handling school stuff, doctor's appointments, making actual meals instead of Postmates every night, helping her through panic attacks, you name it. Hey, sounds like you're being stellar. I'm glad you stepped up to the plate. At least the kid's getting a good mom somewhere. Now, I never tried to replace her mom, but I've been a consistent, caring adult in her life. I even helped plan her last birthday party when her mom completely forgot the date. Like, I've seriously bent over backwards for this kid. Fast forward to last weekend. We're at this fancy dinner with my fiance's family. First time his extended family has met me, so I'm trying to make a good impression. Midway through, his daughter turns to me, smiles sweet as a pie, and goes, "So how does it feel being a gold digger with a uterus? That's what my mom says you are." I don't know why I gave her a little country twang, but whole table stops. Someone chokes on their wine. I just sat there stunned for a second and said, "Oh, honey, I'm not your mom. I just happen to be the woman keeping your life together while she's out getting her chakras aligned." Fiance was mortified. His daughter burst into tears and stormed out. He later said I stooped to her level and that I need to apologize because she's just a kid repeating what she hears. I told him I've spent years being disrespected and taking the high road, and maybe the real problem is that a 15-year-old is walking around thinking she can say things like that and not get clapped back at. Now his family is split. Some think I was too harsh. Others say I just finally said what no one else would. So am I the asshole for finally telling this girl I'm not her mom when she decided to come for me in front of the whole damn family? Jasmine, I try to be a little bit of like devil's advocate with some stuff because you're only really getting one side of the story. Jasmine, I don't think you're the asshole. I don't think your response was necessarily the greatest, but I don't think it was wrong either. I feel like kids are kind of hard to handle in this world. Granted, this is opinion of a person with no kids. I feel like kids are tough nowadays, though. Disciplining them is tough to achieve, as well as I don't think you're a gold digger. And it sounds like you're doing a lot for this kid that the biological parent should be doing more, but they're not. And that's unfortunate. More so for the kid. It sucks that you're dealing with it, but you're also awesome for standing up and doing that. You keep doing that because it's great. It sucks that you're dealing with the kid, but hopefully in the future they'll appreciate it and they'll kind of, their perspective will change, and then, you know, maybe you guys will have a great relationship in the future. Who knows? We'll go to the comments, see what they have to say. D-Rates 1. I'd say you need to reevaluate this relationship and your role in it. Jasmine replied, "Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I stepped into this role to build something real, not to be treated like a live-in assistant with a uterus. If this is how I get repaid for holding it all together, then maybe I need to stop auditioning for a family that doesn't actually want me in the cast." D-Rates replied with, "Yep, if nothing else, I'd immediately stop organizing the 15-year-old's life. She can ask for help, but stop giving it to her automatically. I would also have a long talk with the fiance and make the decision on whether he's a soon-to-be ex." Ooh, I think the helping the kid until the kid asks for help might be a good avenue, because maybe the kid isn't realizing how much you're actually doing and spending on this kid until you take it away. Should you take it all away? Is that ultimately the best scenario? It's a learning experience. It doesn't mean it's going to be fun for them. Life's not easy. Welcome to it. I think we all know. Father's a little bit in a hard place, because if he's trying to balance not upsetting his daughter and then also wanting to respect you too. So I think it's a tough place for him. So I definitely think a conversation could potentially help this a lot. So I wouldn't call it quits yet. I don't know where you guys are at. This is just where my brain leads to. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't know. But that's my opinion, is I don't know. I don't think you're the asshole though, Jasmine. Hopefully things work out for you, and hopefully that kid grows up to be a nice, respectable human. Not the asshole. All right, this is my last one of the day, so it's going to be a good one, guys, all right? This is from Outlandish Nethelsi. Well, I don't know what the fuck that is. Got period on my boyfriend's mattress, and now he won't talk to me. It's a period, man. Half the population has it. You better get used to it. I, 24, woke up this morning and got my period a week early. I had spotting yesterday, but chalked it up to missing a birth control pill and went to bed without a tampon or pad. I was sleeping with my boyfriend, 23, at his apartment. His mattress and sheets are stained, and I am working to get them out. He is mad and hasn't talked to me for a few hours, saying that he doesn't believe the stain will come out. I obviously feel bad, but there's no way I could have predicted this. And as a woman, this feels like it's pretty low stakes. Am I the asshole? Does my boyfriend have a right to be mad? I don't care if it's bodily fluid or if it's like a soda or whatever. It would just stink that it's stained, but it's not that big of a deal. How old's your boyfriend? Does he need a couple years to like grow up or something? Because who gives a shit? This is so dumb. This is dumb. It's just dumb. We're going to the comments. Rush Primary 2112. I had a hookup from Tinder bleed on my literally 3-day mattress. I laughed and said, guess this is your mattress now. Anyway, we're getting married. See, Rush, you know how to do it. And then CO Grace. This is how it should be handled. Not with a marriage proposal, but with maturity or humor, maybe even both. If you've only been dating for 3 days and someone bleeds in your bed, I don't know if I would hit them with a marriage proposal. But obviously, you can be respectful about it. Shit happens, man. One person just replied, A, hydrogen peroxide. Does that actually take out blood pretty well? I don't know if I've ever used it for a stain. You're not the asshole. I just find this stupid. I just want to your boyfriend, because if he can't handle it, you may have just got a very early sign that you don't even want to mess with this guy. I'm over it. You're not the asshole. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like, comment, do all those fun things. I really appreciate it. See you guys soon. Bye.